Hey guys, it's me again here with the STI in the garage. Just wanted to go and share my thoughts on something very simple. Hopefully help someone out again. Um, I know one of my buddies is getting ready to do this mod, so hope he saves him some time also. And what I'm talking about is removing the gasket that goes between the TGV and the engine head, so the engine blocks. So this is kind of a OEM paper gasket, if you can see it. It's kind of a thick cardboard-like material, and this is the top, and this is kind of the bottom. And when you peel these guys off, it leaves these residue on the heads, which you do want to remove to install a new gasket. So as you can see, I've just gotten done removing this guy from back here, and what I did is I went out to the hardware store and got me a couple tools. So I got this scraper from Husky from the Home Depot. It was $5, and it's kind of nice because it lets me, or lets you, kind of get in and pry this out as neatly as possible without breaking it. Now the tough part is going to be removing this stuff here, this kind of paperish material. And what you do is you want to make sure that these holes are always covered. So I usually just jam a paper towel in there. These guys are clean, are the ones that I've been using for quite a bit, and I just remove them to kind of get the gasket out to be able to maneuver through. But you typically want to keep these inlets covered. You don't want anything to get in there. That's your engine essentially. So what I found out works great to go from that to this. Okay, so this is kind of extremely smooth, and it's kind of has this nice polished look. Is a combination of some hard scrubbing. Actually, I went and got some brake cleaner, so you can use any type. This is the one that they had at my hardware store. And what you do is you come up and you spray this like so, lightly, and you just kind of let it sit there. I don't know if I was able to catch that on the video. You want to make sure your connectors are out of the way and make yourself some room to work. Just let it sit there for a couple seconds. And then the next thing I did was I got this metal scraper also. And I love this little guy because it's really small, and it lets you get in these nice little tight places. And as you can see, all you got to do is carefully just kind of start picking at it. And this is going to take some time. You want to be really careful. This is a steel blade, so it's a harder metal than the heads, the material here. So you can very easily start marring and cutting this up, especially around the edges, and you don't want to do that. So you want to take your time. And the last thing I did is, and it's a process. Oops, I'm gonna have to go get that later. There it is. What you want to do is you want to go ahead and work at it a couple times, spray some brake cleaner again, and go back at it again. And towards the end, what I did was I have this really old Dremel. By the way, I love this thing. They don't make it anymore. And I got this kind of a Brillo pad. It's a very soft, yet abrasive, I guess, pad on this. And what you do is you just play with different speeds. Right now I have it set at 4. And the trick here is that if I put my finger on this, it doesn't really hurt me. I feel it scratching at me. So that's kind of what you want to do so you don't damage your heads. And you'll just kind of go around it nicely and start polishing and cleaning up any last little bits of gasket there. And just keep hitting it with the brake cleaner, cleaning it. And then the last thing you want to do, which I haven't done yet, is you'll have all this material out here, and some of it has fallen in here. So I'm going to get a vacuum cleaner and just vacuum it all out. And hopefully that'll have been I've done a good enough job to not get any debris in there. It's kind of a challenging task because you don't want to put tape on here because you really need exposure to all these edges. So you just have to be careful not to get anything in there. So that's it. Then I guess I'll make it the next video on the next improvements or what's coming up next. I do want to make a video eventually about my air and oil separator. So this is the street version, and I'll tell you guys why I went with this as opposed to the performance version. Then a lot of research, and I'll share that with you. Anyway, hope somebody finds this helpful. It really took me 15 minutes to clean this up with the tools that I have. It's much easier than what I thought it would be. So just got to be patient, and it'll come out nice and clean. Bye.